Tom had the idea, and we went to HBO, and it seems like a simpler time, because it literally was, well, this is it. Well, why don't we just go shoot like a 10-minute, piece for it, and we went off and they shot that little thing, and then literally like, all right, let's do it. And that became the first HBO, I think it's the first HBO series. Chris Albrecht literally off the pitch said, okay, go do this. We did the 10-minute thing, and let's do it. And then it went on the air.
I heard you were actually in the room with him when he watched it. Was that unusual?
It was. I mean, it feels like another world then, you know what I mean? But that's how simple things were. Here, take a look. See what you think, Chris. I like this. Good. Let's go ahead with this. That you know what I mean? It was that sort of like handmade in a way. Here, what do you think? It's not like it had to go to a lot of people or all this stuff. It was very simple. Mm-hmm. And even in terms of, NBC, in terms of homicide, there weren't a whole lot of people that you spoke to. You dealt with just a couple people, and that was the line of communication. And there wasn't teams of executives. There was very few people involved. It was certainly different from anything we'd done before, but it was a prison show that would be much tougher than what you've seen, with a real edge to it, as opposed to, men behind bars that had been, much more sanitized. So, that was the aspect of it. In the beginning, you spend more time, and then once it's up and running and everybody kind of knows what they're doing, then you'll hear the storylines and whatever, and and you're not following it on a day-by-day basis. It's like it's like if it's up and running and Tom ran that show, and he had the staff was very good and everybody was in sync, and you know what you're doing, and that's the pleasure of sometimes when you have partnership, where you're bickering over every little thing. You know it's in good hands, and you know how it's supposed to progress, and then you'll have some larger discussions about arcs and storylines or something like that. But in some ways it seems pretty simple in terms of Homicide and Oz, in terms of how they evolved, and both of them were what you might call blatantly mainstream pieces of work.
What do you think is the legacy of that show?
Well, I mean, it's ironic that it's the first HBO series. I mean, when you think about it, that's a giant change in the direction of HBO. Up until then, they used to show movies. And then all of a sudden, they had their own series content. So what is HBO most known for now is their series, not the fact that they show movies. So, Veep or Game of Thrones, or, all the shows that have come along, in all these years.
Sopranos, yeah.
Sopranos are all series. Mm-hmm. And so it began with Oz.